No, I think we were closed for probably 3 months. It's probably March, mid-March, April, May, June, because of the riot. Then the riot happened and everything else. That we shut down again. We had to board up your store and go about it that way. And then we opened up, and then you couldn't. You're not allowed to have anybody in. You just got to do curbside. And who's going to come in our industry and say, you know what, I feel like this. Why don't you give it to me?
Yeah, unless you're a real degenerate like me, and I say, "Hey,
I know what I like.
I know what I like. Here's a box.
Give me a box of Davidoff, a box of Padron.
Can you shove it through the front door? I'll shove the cash
That's
under.
We're good to go.
Yeah. I was happy that there was no riots or massive civil unrest up here in the Santa Clarita Valley, but I know a few of your friends that have cigar shops down in Santa Monica in the Valley.
Santa Monica, I heard. Yeah.
They got hit real bad, right? They're gone.
Basically, they had to shut down their business and go.
Oh man!
And I think, if I'm not mistaken, and I hope I got the right idea. I mean, not right idea, right conversation. I heard insurance does not cover it. Even if you don't have your policy under terrorism acts, the insurance does not cover you.
Yeah.
So everything that got stolen, you're pretty much on your own.
Yeah, so I had heard something similar on a couple cigar shops, a couple small boutiques that were down there in Santa Monica that got destroyed, where if one person walks in, holds you up, steals all your inventory, whatever, that's covered because that's theft. But if there's a riot and it's an act of terrorism, the cops just let it happen, then your insurance policy doesn't cover that. So I heard that one of the cigar shops downtown, I was reading a couple articles about it, they lost $500,000 of inventory that was raided in a riot. Yep. and their insurance doesn't cover any of that. And I don't fault the insurance because they have their policies and they have their riders, but like if I'm that business owner and I'm like, my insurance doesn't cover me, the cops just stood right there and let it happen. I think people think that property crime is like a faceless crime and it doesn't hurt anybody. But if you're that business owner and your life's work is fucking gone, like that's brutal.
It is 100%.
Oh my goodness.
See your livelihood just gone overnight, just disappeared. There's not much you could do about it. There's nothing you could do about it. What are you going to write a police report? Okay, good for you. Then what is that? Okay, take it off your taxes. What is that going to do? You got to have money to write off taxes.
Right. And your average cigar shop that's, I don't know, maybe a couple thousand square feet, what do they usually keep on inventory? I know you used to do wholesale in the cigar business, so you sold to all these cigar shops. Is a cigar shop keeping $100,000, $1 million? Like what kind of inventory?
Some people run tight, 40, 60 grand. Some stores are 70, 80. Some stores are $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 of inventory. Some more.
Oh man,
you gotta have a variety, and again, business is not cheap in California. So if you gotta have variety, you gotta come up with the cash. And there's no ifs and buts about it. That 60% tobacco's got to go to the state somehow.
Yeah, and so how does that work? When do you have to pay the taxes? Like, let's say you got $200,000 of cigar inventory in your shop.
So let's say today is what, 17, 18? What's 18, I believe.
18th, yeah.
So if it's 18th, so it's due on the 25th of end of the month. So you got 7, 8 days to come up with the difference to pay them their 60%.
And is that 60% on the wholesale inventory you've taken in?
They're basically, it's counted in and then pass it on to the customer. But you got to schlep the money. You got to come up with the money up front, pay it off to the state. And regardless whether you sell it or not sell it, you could sit there for 10 years, but you already paid that money.
So, oh, holy fuck. This is worse than I thought it was. So if you bring in $100,000 pallet of cigars to start your business.
Right.
Before you sell a single one on the 25th of the month, you're writing the state of California a check for $60,000, 60%.
Correct.
How does any tobacco or cigar shop stay in business? Like,
you got to be passionate. You got to love what you do.
Yeah, well, love what you do doesn't mean you shit money.
But
so wait a minute. So I thought I understood this when we talked at the cigar shop, but I did not understand this. So the state obviously wants you to build out this store,
right,
and then they want you to put in a giant filtration system to meet all of the regulation, and then you've got to staff the store with real staff and cigars and equipment and couches and TVs and stuff, and then before you even sell a single cigar on the 25th of the month after you purchase all your product, right, you owe them 60% in taxes.
Yeah.
Before you sell a goddamn thing?
It doesn't matter. You could throw it in the trash. You got to pay that money.
Oh my goodness. So I got to ask, when your store is beautiful, by the way.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Your store is absolutely beautiful. before you made the first sale, the first credit card transaction, how much money were you out of pocket to build out that store and put cigars in it and pay your first round of taxes?
Like taking me back 15 years. So I got to remember that. I think I got in probably back 15 years ago. It cost me probably roughly around 200 grand just so I could.
And what would that cost to replicate today if you were starting from zero, getting the permits?
Oh, just on empty shelves and ventilation and TVs, like you said, and couches and white decor for the shop. You're looking at 500-600 grand.
500, 600 grand. And then of course you got to write the tax check.
Then you got to buy tobacco on top of it. No, you got to buy cigars and put them on the shelf so you can sell.
All right. So you buy another $100,000 worth of cigars, then you pay
$150,000. You pay another $70,000-$80,000 in taxes, and you go on about your business.
So you're $750,000 to open a business that sells a $20 product.
30, 40, 100, 200.
Oh God.